All right, everyone. Gather around, folks. Gather around.
Come on in. Welcome in. Hey, just like Terrence Williams says it. Come on in. Join us. A huge shout out to the people on Instagram, man, that are plugging in. Also, we got a huge shout outs to the folks on YouTube and Facebook. So let us know, man, if you guys can hear us. How do we hear? Because we've been having a battle, bro, with technology. Technology is trying to beat us. But we're not gonna let it, man. So how is it, man? How you guys doing?
Yeah, can you guys let us know if the sound is good this time? Maybe we can put it on the chat there. We're hoping it's the issue's been resolved. That's actually why we're on late, because we were out here fiddling around. Well, I wasn't. I was sitting here while Alfred fixed stuff. I don't know how to do any of this. I'm just the guy that shows up to talk. So we're looking good. Looks like what is that? I look fish 66 sounds fine.
Sounds good. All right.
Sounds good.
We'll adjust it as we could. We'll adjust it as we could, man.
Yeah. So let me see. Yeah, it looks like we got some goods. So cool. Sounds good on IG. Sweet.
All right.
Sweet, guys. Well, man, thanks for joining us, guys. I'm Isaac Galvez. Welcome to the Unrestrained podcast. So I was out last week, and apparently, I don't know who was here again. Ernest.
We had Ernest and Julian. Yep, and that's when that's where we encountered the same issue, man.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like every time we have guests or we have something going on, bro, it's like, the tech, but we got it, man. We got it running. Everything's sounding good now.
Yeah, so I was out last week and I walk in here and it's like a whole different setup, different cameras, different microphone, a different table, bigger screens. I'm like, man, what the heck happened? I got to leave more often. But yeah, guys, so I was out last week. So spent a week on the road with the wife. I have this adventure van. So we went out adventuring. We actually headed out to that balloon fiesta in New Mexico in Albuquerque. If you have not gone, I highly recommend. And actually, right before we got started, I'm actually killing time so we get more people before we get into this. Before we got started, somebody texted me that I guess one of the balloons hit. Yeah, there was an accident, apparently. A balloon hit some sort of tower. And everybody's asked me, like, hey, did you get out? I'm like, man, no. I'm afraid of heights, man. I would do it if, first of all, I guess it's like $400 to take the ride.
That's right.
And you got to reserve way in advance. So maybe if you guys like, share, and subscribe, and we can build this podcast where it actually gets monetized, and I can maybe afford a $400 balloon ride, but right now I can't afford that. But yeah, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Looks like we're live on the Legsit platforms here on Facebook, right? Instagram.
That's right.
And
on Instagram, YouTube, and on what is it? We're gonna hit Getter and X in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. So if not, we'll have to upload on Exit on X. But yeah, if you guys could go to on our YouTube channel, we're on the Legsit platforms, which is great. But we have our channel through YouTube at Unrestrained Podcast. If you guys could like and subscribe there once it's uploaded, we'd appreciate it. We'd like to build the channel there. And then once we can get enough subscribers on that, then we can also go live through our Unrestrained Podcast channel, guys. So, yeah, guys, crazy roaming through the country. I actually did see... So I went up to New Mexico. I'm from Southern California. Drove up to New Mexico, Albuquerque area. Drove through all Navajo Nation pretty much, because we ended up going to the Monument Valley as well. And interestingly enough, I did see some Harris Welts signs.
What you say?
Yes, man. I saw them, and I was like, "Oh man, we're in enemy territory, definitely." And yeah, I mean, in reservations,
right,
they're all about Waltz and Harris, apparently.
Bro, I wonder why, man. I mean, I think listen, I was actually listening to Charlie Kirk, and again, he brings up the good valid point. Actually, he brought in this guy from he's from Korea. I think Matt something. He's a Korean guy, and he brought him in, and he was explaining like the reason why some not only Koreans, Asians, but in this case we can also say the Indian or the tribes or the Navajo tribes. The reason why primarily a lot of them vote Democrat is because the Republican Party is doing just a horrible outreach to these communities, and I think he was onto something. You know what I mean? Yeah. He was onto something. What do you think?
Well, I see Doug C. King commented that they're all brainwashed.
Of course, but they're doing a fantastic job. You know what I mean? Like they are actually out there and reaching out to the people. They're reaching out to the Navajo people, the Asian community. And by all means, I think that's something for us to learn and to strive and just to be able to do a better outreach, outreach to these communities. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, we have to remember that basically the Native Americans receive basically welfare for life just for being Indian. So they're a perfect example of one of the problems with these social programs. So I'm not saying they're not brainwashed, but they're obviously heavily dependent on government assistance. And it's interesting, when you go there and, it's my first time, being like in a reservation and, in a majority, I've never seen so many Native Americans in my life. But it's, one of the interesting things was we were in a stand and my wife was buying some stuff for the kids. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those, they have stands everywhere. They're selling their little jewelry and, handmade crafts. And the guy at the stand was there with his wife, and the guy couldn't do math.
Wow.
Yeah, that was interesting. He couldn't do math. So, yeah, man, government funded, programs. They have these people basically reliant on the government, and they don't have the education that they need. They don't have the ambition. There's a lot of alcoholism. I'm sure all you guys know that. They're not even going to sell alcohol there because, they have a big alcoholism problem. But anyhow, aside from that, it's beautiful. If you guys ever get a chance to go visit Monument Valley, beautiful place. America's awesome. I like being on the road. I like going to small towns, all that good stuff. So, but we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see how people actually vote. But that was the first time I actually saw some Walt Harris signs.
That is trippy, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, California, I ran into a couple of places here in California where I saw the signs.
Yeah.
And then somebody gave me a sign, bro, at the Trump right here. There it is, right here in front of us. We got the Trump sign, and somebody told me like, bro, you got to get it out. They said, don't bring it outside. Don't bring it outside of my house. And I was like, well, why? Well, you don't want the contingency of the neighbors, right? The neighbors. What are the neighbors going to say? And I think that's one of the things we need to stop as Latinos. Let's get the sign out there. Yeah. Who gives them whatever, man? People got to see that this is a fight for this nation. And we can't keep these signs in here, bro. So guess what's going to happen?
And
it out there.
In the other hand, in Arizona, coming down through Flagstaff, man, that's all Trump country. We're all surprised. We were in downtown, the old part of downtown Flagstaff. Went down to get some food, and there were some young kids walking around with their Trump signs. These were young college age student males. Out there. So. Driving down Route 66, that's all Trump country there too. So I don't think I saw one Harris Walt in Arizona. So if we go by that, Arizona's looking pretty red, guys. So we'll see what happens. I got my ballot while I was gone.
I was going to say,
and I haven't voted yet. So because of that, I just got back. So I haven't voted yet, but we'll take care of that here. By Wednesday, I can assure you that my ballot will be turned in. So
turn it in, guys. Yeah. And you know what? It's better. The vote, I'm hearing this from everywhere. It is time for us to vote. You know what I mean? Like, do it now. Don't wait till the last minute. Latinos, we always wait for the last minute. Come on, guys. Let's get it out there. this time is the most important elections in our history, and it is time for us to vote, especially us Christian people, man. Christians, I'm hearing this conversation in the mainstream or even out there that there's a lot of Christians that are not going to vote just because they feel like they're offended.
Really?
Because I've seen this. I heard it. Actually, I heard it from Charlie Kirk. He says 70 million Christians will not vote, and I'm just trying to picture why. This is the most time where everybody needs to vote. All hands on deck, including Christians. We need to do our part, man.
No, everybody that's going to vote for Trump needs to vote. If you're going to vote for Kamala, please don't vote.
Yes,
you can stay home.
Just stay there.
Yeah, you can stay home. Right? Yeah, guys, let's not be discouraged. Even if you're in blue state, right? If you're in a blue state, don't give up, man. Get everybody you know that's going to vote for Trump. You gotta take the ballot for them. We've been talking about it. Remind them. Go pick it up. Turn it in yourself for them.
That's right.
It's legal, right? So we gotta play that within the rules, all right? Because otherwise, we're handicapping ourselves.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. On the other hand, man, I wanted us to take a look at this video, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, good job on bringing this video, bro. It actually shows, this is the Trump campaign bringing in this new woke, getting the woke out of the military. I think it's a good video.
I think it's a good ad. So we're going to play this ad. I thought it was pretty funny, and it's actually pretty awesome. And when watching that video, we'll play it and I'll comment on it. But it just makes you realize how far down, how horrible things have become, But yeah, let's go ahead and play this clip.
You little scumbag! I got your name! I got your ass! You will not laugh! You will not cry! You will learn by the numbers!
Happy Pride. Happy Pride Month, and actually, let's declare it a summer of pride.
So you're a killer? Sir, yes, sir! Let me see your war face! Sir, you got a war face? Ah! That's a war face! Now let me see your war face! Ah! Bullshit! You didn't convince me! Let me see your real war face! Ah!
I hear it and I know I know you wanna take.
You will be a weapon. You will be a minister of death, praying for war. But until that day, you are pukes. You are the lowest form of life on earth. You are not even human fucking beings. You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit.
Abracadabra, these bitches know I got answers the way I...
It looks to me like the best part of you ran down the crack of your mama's ass and ended up as a brown stain on the mattress. I love working for Uncle Sam. I love working for Uncle Sam. Let me know just who I am. Let me know just who I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps. 1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps.
Let's go. That doesn't get you fired up, man. So on the one hand, it gets you pumped, right? Because that's, Full Metal Jacket, man. That was an awesome movie. And then you see the contrast, guys. The contrast is like the whole LGBTQ, gay, homosexuality nonsense that our military is having to deal with. How does any reasonable person out there not have a problem with the fact that our military is promoting this nonsense woke? Going back to what you were saying, Alfred,
Yep.
If you're a believer and you don't go vote for Trump, this is what we're dealing with. We're the problem. If you can't go, you have to go vote. It's obviously prayer is powerful, but we have to take action, right? So we want to pray, we want to seek wisdom, want to seek discernment, and then we got to go vote. And there's no way that you can biblically justify voting for anyone other than Trump, given the options that we have, right? Than Trump. And I'm not one of those people that believe that, I'm not the whole Trump's perfect and and the chosen one. I mean, God's in control. We understand that, right? And he all things pass through his throne, and he will allow whoever he wants to be elected, right? But we need to do our part, guys. We need to get out there. We need to vote. And it makes no sense to me as a believer that somebody would just sit out. And the Christians just sit out and decide that they're not going to vote. So we have to do something about this, guys. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think, man, about that clip. I think it's pretty awesome. What do we got going on, Alfred? Now you're messing with my...
Yeah, this thing is just going out of whack.
Oh, yeah, we're losing the focus. But yeah, guys, I don't know what you guys think, man, but it is horrifying. It is horrifying to see the contrast between what we used to be and what we are now, right? I mean, we want our military to be crazy like that. You know what I mean? Like we want killers. That's what we want. We want guys that we want our military to be trained to be killers. We want them to be that hard and that hardcore. And the thing is that I know there's got to be somebody out there that's probably a leftist watching this. They watched that video and probably does not like the way that drill instructor was yelling at the recruits, right? They would have a problem with that. And you know the movie how it goes, right? I mean, in the movie that guy goes crazy, right? He ends up killing himself. But no, the reality is, guys, is that we got to our military has to be tough, right? And we want to make sure that the guys that are joining the military are being trained, and that we're weeding out the weak, and that we're only ending up with the strong guys serving for our country. I mean, I don't understand why anybody would disagree with that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It looks like Alfred's having some problems. But let me go ahead and read what do we got here on the chats, man. Our chat. I need some help keeping up here, Alfred. Example, blah blah. Let me see. Let's see what we got. People are too soft these days. Yeah, man, they are too soft these days. Let's say Latinos. We have the opportunity to help shape the morals and values of this country going forward. We can't let this opportunity slip by. Yeah, we can't, guys. We definitely can't. And we know they're going to try to cheat. So, we can't afford it. We need to get out there. We need to try to overwhelm the votes, and, help Trump win with a huge margin that makes it very difficult, near impossible for them to cheat.
Yeah. Sorry about that, man. Just man, it's exactly what's going on, man. I really like the video, bro, because the video actually tells you two kinds of realities, right? Number one reality, it tells you where we are as a nation. This was tolerant. Listen, by all means, there's people out there that believe that way. They believe that everybody should be what is it called? Fruity or whatever. There's people out there that don't believe that way. You know what I mean? I strongly believe that our military should be strong. I don't believe that, like that gender or your emotions or your feelings should be put, in the military. And the reason why is because think about it. You know what I mean? When you're out there in the battle, what are you going to do with the enemy? Are you going to show him, you're going to call me you better call me by my pronouns or whatever? You think the enemy's really going to care about your pronouns or your feelings? They're out there to kill you. They're out there to make sure that they finish the enemy. And so are we allowing this, to continue to push to, this kind of, DEI into our military, when at the end of the day, bro, I don't think China or Russia really believe about your gender or your feelings. They're out there bombing on people. They're out there making sure that the enemy is gone. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not out there worrying about, your pronouns or your microaggressions or whatever. You know what I mean? They're out there just making sure to take care of the job.
Yeah, listen, like somebody said in the chat, nobody cares what you do with your chorizo. Well, I think that was real. It's past now. But no,
What's up, Rio?
Yeah, the reality is that you're right. I mean, as a believer, we understand that that's not according to God's plan, the other side too, just as a citizen, I don't care in the context of who I want in my military. I don't care if what you do in your private life, don't bring it to work, right? Don't bring it to work. If you want to wear a dress, if you want to join the Marine Corps and wear a dress at home, I don't care. I really don't. That's something you don't have to deal with God. I'm going to tell you it ain't right. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you that you're not a girl. With that said, if you're going out there and you have a killer mentality and you're going to conform to what the military requires from you, and you're going to leave all that LGBTQ nonsense at home, and not bring it to work, right? To not bring it to the battlefield, not bring it to the unit, whatever you have, then I don't care. As long as you're going to go out there and you're going to, like in the movie, right? Put on your war face, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to be a competent military person.
That's right.
And you're not going to prioritize your whole woke nonsense over the military and what needs to be done and what's expected of you.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Yeah, guys. So, moving on from that story, we definitely want to talk about this, man, because this right here, okay, it's hard for me. I was on vacation and I got back Saturday and I saw this come up on my feed because I didn't have service most of the time, but it came up on my feed, guys. And it's hard to listen to old Barry Seotoro over here, aka Barack Obama. But one of the things, and I hadn't listened to him speak for such a long time. I actually watched a good portion of his whole speech there, where he was out lecturing black men for, not voting for Kamala Harris, right? But it did remind me as to why he was so effective. Because when you listen to him and you compare to what we're dealing with now, what the Democrats are having to deal with now with Kamala and Sleepy Joe, he is a far better speaker, far more articulate. But guys, it's hard to listen to this man because we talked about this before. When you listen to this and the lecture that he's giving to the black men, right? He's supposed to be a public servant, okay? So let me ask you guys, does this sound to you like somebody that's a public servant, or does this sound to you like somebody who thinks that you're too stupid, you don't understand, therefore I need to come here and let you know, right, what you're doing wrong and how you should be voting and how you should be thinking. This is how you should be thinking. This is the point of view you're supposed to have, black men. Go ahead and play the video, Alfred. But when you watch this, guys, does this sound to you like a public servant? Somebody who's working for the people, right? And is out there representing the people. Go ahead and hit play, Alfred.
All right. Here we go. Sorry about that, man.
No, you're good.
Checking the sound, man. Let's do it. Play. Here we go.
Who seem to think Trump's behavior, the bullying and the putting people down, is a sign of strength.
The feedback's the video, guys. Sorry.
And I am here to tell you that is not what real strength is. Real strength is about working hard and carrying a heavy load without complaining. Real strength is about taking responsibility for your actions and telling the truth even when it's inconvenient. Real strength is about helping people who need it and standing up for those who can't always stand up for themselves. That is what we should want for our daughters and for our sons. And that is what I want to see in a president of the United States of America.
And that wasn't it. As Barack Obama continued to open a bigger can of worms.
All right, guys. It's the next clip, Alfred. But guys, like, what the heck is he talking about? Right, guys? I mean,
you know what, bro? Realistically, man, hearing him talk, bro, it really just, I mean, this is the last person that should be giving anybody a lecture. First of all, especially, some of our black brothers and sisters out there that are actually getting bombarded with things that the Democrat Party hasn't done for them. It's kind of like this. It's a perfect scenario when we have, the Democrat Party coming out to the minorities, right? The Latinos, the Asians, right? We were talking about this before. The Black community. They only come to you at the end of every 4 years. You know what I mean? And for the Black community, think about it. Now you have somebody, right? This is a Barack Obama, the first Black American in the United States.
The first half white president.
Half white
or
president.
half black president.
Correct.
He's half black.
And now he's telling you.
Get it right.
Exactly. Now he's telling you that you must vote for the first Black American woman. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about the inflation. Don't worry about what's going on around us with the open borders. Our communities being taken over, especially down there in Chicago. There's a war out there going with the Venezuelan gangs, right? Communities are being taken over by what? Illegal immigration, right? Violent criminals that are coming into this country, attacking our own communities, right? Yep. And here he is. Avoid all that. Don't pay attention to that. Don't pay attention that we have some of the people that we're backing, right? Because if they're the ones. The SAR, who was Kamala Harris, was the one who was in charge of the border. She's allowing more than 12 million people and counting and more. And now everybody's getting food stamps, EBT, that these communities should be getting. Now they're not. Yeah. Now we're starting to see how this affects every community, every minority community, including the Black community, the Hispanic communities. But these people are ignorant to tell you, like, hey, this is our doing. This is what we are doing. But you still got to vote for us. Yeah. And I think people were starting to wake up.
Yeah, so I see Joe Leroy. I was able to help open my mother and brother's minds. Yeah, man, we got to get out there. Another one, too, I think, is what the Duck City King.
Yep.
Yeah, he's also talking about the same thing. Looks like he's got some people that they've talked to. We got to get out there and talk to your family, man. And I don't know, have them listen to the Unrestrained podcast. Maybe that'll help open up their minds. But guys, the interesting thing about the Black community is that the only. I've talked to my Black friends about this. Like, do you guys not realize that you're the only community or like race that has leaders that are constantly telling you guys what to do? You know what I mean? Like, we don't have, like, who's, am I wrong, guys? Like, in the Latino community, like, who's the leader? Like, we don't have guys like this coming up to us and saying, hey, Latino males, you guys, you schmucks, you know what I mean? You guys, got to stop complaining. Because that's basically what Obama was saying is, you keep your mouth shut and carry the heavy load, right? Like, what are you talking about, bro? You're supposed to be a public servant. Well, not anymore, but he's supposed to be a public servant. That's what he was. He was a public servant, right? Does this sound like somebody that is out to serve the people? Or does it sound like somebody that's actually out to, that believes that he is smarter and he is a leader? They always call these guys leaders. Like, why do they consider leaders? You know what I mean? They're supposed to be public servants. They're supposed to serve us, not lead us. And that's the problem, guys. People have to stop looking at these people, and we have to reject this whole leader mentality that these guys are our leaders. They are public servants, and they need to start acting like it. And we need to stop and rejecting this whole leader mentality and the fact that they have this leadership position. No, they're supposed to be public servants. And I have a big problem. Can you guys imagine, having a Latino person, like, just imagine Barack Obama being Latino, addressing Latino males. Like, come on, man. And obviously, I know Black people there's a group of Black people. I wonder, like, these idiots standing behind him. I don't know if the video is still showing, but these 4 Black guys, standing around him, clapping, like these freaking idiots, man. Like, do they not have a problem with somebody coming out there and telling them what to do? But we're gonna play this nigga because he keeps going. After this, I guess he meets with some a group of Black men to lecture him a little more, right? You know, he's gonna lecture him a little more, guys. Let's go ahead and hit play.
Let's do it.
Worms after addressing the crowds from the podium, he spoke to a group of black men
It's the next clip,
separately.
Alfred. Sorry, it's the same. Hit the next tab. The next tab.
Oh, sorry about that. No, we gotta stop this one. Hold on 1 second. This goes and it has to go into this other one. Bear with me. Yep.
Yeah, probably. Who's that? Lizzie Hopper 16. They're probably paid actors. Wouldn't be surprised, right? I mean, they didn't even think of that, but
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind. Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout
ready to hit pause.
in all quarters.
So interesting, guys, that he's getting reports. You know, he's telling them he's getting reports that they're not getting the same enthusiasm, the same positive polling and data that they had when he was running for president, right? So this tells us they know there's a problem. Like, they're not getting the support, guys. It must not be looking good that he's out there right now. That they rolled out Barry Seotoro, right, to go out there and start lecturing these black people, these black men. And the way he starts out, like, you know, I'm gonna speak some truths.
Yeah,
right now. Come on, bro.
And this is the guy. And again, this is the truth. And for some of you, please forgive me. Some of you voted for this man, like I did, twice. Okay. And when we voted for this guy twice, you can't forget, 2008, remember, he was the one who said that he would be bringing, I seen a video from a black man that was in the military. He was out there in 2008, 2010, right? And he literally called out Barry Obama, and he told him, like, hey, come on, Obama. Are you the same man lecturing us, the black community, right, about who should we support? Meanwhile, you were the one who was lying, bringing millions of dollars out to Baghdad, right? Building cities, saying you will be bringing the Armada home, and you didn't. They stayed back for another 3 years after that. This guy's the guy that's lying and telling you, he's the one who's telling you the truth. He wants you to take his word for it, that he's getting all this information from campaigns, right? But this is the one he wanted. He wanted Kamala Harris, not knowing, even though knowing that the lady can't talk, nobody can eat her. They've invested millions and millions of dollars. Now we're starting to see the ship sink because nobody likes this person, because everybody knows who she is. She comes out of California as a DA prosecutor, prosecuting black men, right? Going after people, criminalizing people. He goes into the government, into Congress, right? Just staying in the backside, in the back end, right? In her safe space for a long time until she gets tagged by Joe Biden to give her a position as the border czar, and she fails miserably. She goes out to Guatemala on a trip to see the outcome. We want to know where the problem is. You don't need to know. All you need to do is close the border, just like Trump did. 94 executive orders they did to remove Trump's border policy.
Yeah.
94 of them.
Interesting. I'm noticing the guy behind Obama has a Star of David necklace on.
Right. That's what I noticed it too.
Did you notice that? I think that's interesting. But yeah, Marco Lugo, I wish I was getting paid. I don't know if that's what you mean, but that we're paid. I mean, that'd be awesome, bro. That'd be great. I mean, if somebody's sending me checks, but guys like Marco Lugo, respectfully, how do you not watch this? Okay, forget about Trump, because you seem to have Trump derangement syndrome. But how do you not listen to this in this lecture? If this was Trump, okay, talking like this to anybody, right, lecturing them,
right,
I know you would have a problem with that. Okay, So put Trump aside from this and focus on Barry Seotoro over here, okay? And you
That's
and tell
actually
me
his name.
that's it. Yeah, that's his name. So focus on Barry over here, and you tell me or comment on there and maybe defend how is this a public servant? How is this somebody that's there for the people? And when you look at what's going on in North Carolina, right?
That's
With
right.
them getting the lack of resources, which is not fake news, it's real news. It's all over the people of North Carolina on the media, the alternative real media. They're giving you the facts, okay, the evidence, the receipts that show that they are not getting the support that they're supposed to be getting. There was the two guys out there on the Sean Ryan show. I was tempted to find that video. If any of you guys watched the Sean Ryan show, he had the two of the guys that were out there helping extract people with helicopters, and he was interviewing those two gentlemen.
Right.
And they were talking about what they witnessed there. And one of the things they said that really made me think about how we know, right, that these places, a lot of these places that have been impacted are in places where you cannot get there without helicopters. And ask this question: why is the military not out there? We have thousands of helicopters, right? Why? And we have American citizens dying. Okay, they were running out of water. They're running out of food. They're running out of medication. There was a woman that they rescued that had 24 hours left in her oxygen tank, or she would have died. There was a baby that they rescued that I forgot. That kid had some sort of medical condition. That baby was dying, and those are just the ones that we know about, right? So when we listen to guys like Barry Seotoro, and we listen to this lecture, okay, this mentality they have that they for some reason are smarter than everyone else, right? That the reason why black people, it's got to be because they're anti-women. That's got to be the reason why, right? All they do is demonize Trump, but they can't tell you why they should vote for them, right? Marco Lugo, why are they telling us why they should vote for them? Are they telling us why should you vote for them? Right? No, all they're going to tell you is, that you are an immoral person if you vote for that demon, demon Trump, right? That's what they're going to tell you. All right. They're going to demonize him. They're going to scare you to not vote for them, but they're not giving you a reason as to why you should vote for Kamala Harris, right? He's going and telling black men about how bad they are for not supporting Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kamala Harris, right? How bad they are, right? This is the mindset of people that don't care about the people. These are the people that are making the decisions that lead to why people in North Carolina and these places that are being impacted by the disaster are not getting the help they got, because you're just peasants. You're just peasants to these people. Hit play, Alfred, and just listen and tell me how this guy doesn't think you're a peasant. You're a peasant to him.
Of our neighborhoods and communities, as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly.
Yeah, I mind.
And say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you.
No, she did not grow up like you.
Went to college with you.
No, she did not.
Understands the struggles.
No, she does not understand the struggles.
Pain and joy that comes,
Alfred,
from those.
So Kamala Harris comes from a slave-owning family. Okay? Let's not forget, I don't know if you knew that, Marco Lugo, that she came from, her family is from, and you can look this up, okay? They're from Jamaica, okay? And they own slaves. And you have Barry Seotoro telling these people, these ignorant guys, because they don't know this, and this is a fact, this is not conspiracy theories, her father was Jamaican, okay? Her whole family, her ancestors owned plantations in Jamaica. They were slave owners. As a matter of fact, there's a picture that I wish I would have pulled this up, but you could look this up, Marco Lugo, or whoever else is out there that doesn't believe this. Google this. There's a picture of her with the woman who's black, who she claims is her grandmother. Okay, and it turns out that woman, okay, I'm sorry, let me back up. The picture that who she's claiming was her grandmother. The age that she took that picture, her actual grandmother was already dead. So it's not possible. It's not possible that that's her actual grandmother.
Yep.
Okay. And then she has the same picture with this woman again and later in age. And, you know, the conspiracy theories, which not all of them can be wrong. It could be a total conspiracy theory, is that probably was somebody who worked for them, was one of their slaves. You know what I mean? As she was growing up. But here you have Barry Seotoro telling these guys that she grew up just like they did. No, they didn't. These guys don't come from slave-owning descendants that I know of. I mean, looking at those 3 guys back there, I mean, they could be, because let's not forget, black people own slaves in America as well. So some of these guys probably do come from slave-owning descendants. I believe the first slave owner in America was in fact black. It was a black man. Okay.
Mhm.
So it could be. So I'll retract that. But no, she did not. She did not. And so again, when he talks about the choices are clear, right? Like Alfred was alluding to earlier, we know what we're going to get with Trump. We've had 4 years of Trump already. We're going to get lower gas prices, no wars, jobs, a great economy where everybody was making money. Okay. You can't deny it. We were safe. Al Qaeda was gone. Okay. We weren't worried about terrorists. You know what I mean? We weren't worried about people coming across the border and causing harm to people, which they're claiming is not true. But now they're, you know, what was that interview with JD Vance and that reporter?
Right.
Where they were talking about Colorado.
Right.
Right. Where originally they were saying that Venezuela gangs, that was a lie, that they took over those apartment buildings.
Mhm.
And now they're confessing, oh no, that it wasn't a lie, but you know, it was just a handful of people and it was only a couple of buildings that they took over. No big deal to them, right? It's not their buildings, it's not their neighborhood that's being impacted by this. You know, so yeah, it's crazy.
It's wild, man. It's wild, man. It's wild, man. I'm listening to the comments, man. It's off the hook. And Mark is on it, bro. Listen, everyone. I think that's one of the greatest thing about this nation is that, you know, you can go anywhere, right? And us as people of faith and people conservatives, you know, we can go anywhere and have an open discussion. There's so much peace, right? When we're having these discussions with people that are like-minded people,
right?
But when we do jump into other people that don't think that way, and they're brainwashed completely to think that, you know, that Trump is racist, and to the same old talking points, talking points that you hear in every leftist outlet, right? That he's racist. Nobody's talking about, just about a week ago, that the upper palace courts, right, have came down on Tisha James's case, right? And returning Trump his $465 million, right? Nobody's talking about this, right? Because guess what? It'll defeat the narrative that they have, that Trump is a scammer, right?
Yeah.
He's been doing everything according to law, according how, as long as the law allows him to take care of whatever as a millionaire, he's taking care of that.
Yeah.
But somebody like Mark is not going to go on in that. He's just going to focus on just
hating,
hating.
Front derangement syndrome. They cannot defend their positions based on evidence and facts. They cannot have a respectful argument. They could just call people names. That's what they do because they don't have anything else. That's the problem. But it's all good, guys. We can't waste our time with people like that. You know, those are the people that, you know, when we talk about Nazi Germany and you wonder, like, hey, how these German people
That's
allow
right. Yep.
in front of their faces, people were being put in ghettos, and they just stood by and watched it, right? That's what you're dealing with, guys. You're dealing with people like that.
Mhm.
But
They strong-
cognitive dissonance. But yeah, hit play, Alfred. Let's keep listening to Barry Seotoro over here.
Experiences. Who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly
Which
address
one?
the things that
None.
are
None.
vital in our neighborhoods and our communities.
Nope.
From housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine and making sure that
He's having a hard
Yeah,
time
yeah,
coming
yeah.
up with things. He's having a hard time.
rents that are too high, rents that are too high,
Oh,
and
my
are
goodness.
is committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got health and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for
Here it comes.
you as a person.
All right. Hold on. Hold it, man. Hold it, Barry. Hold it, Barry. That is a freaking lie, bro.
Right.
This guy, bro, this guy is really out there, man. Look at what he's saying. He's talking about Trump now, and he's saying this is the guy, right, that has so much disregard for our communities. These are
For black people.
For black people.
NAACP award winner,
Yep.
right?
Right.
For all of the good things he did for the black community, right? Every rapper rapped about Trump because they wanted to be Trump. What was that singer's artist's mom, black woman? If you guys could remind me on the chat, somebody, I know somebody knows this. Black singer, I believe, artist. Her mom died or something like that, or had some sort of, what was it? Yeah, her something. They had a family issue, and he allowed her to stay at Trump Tower for free.
Oh, that's right.
Remind me, guys. I'm sorry. It'll come. Black people, you know, that's how much he hates black people, right? The guy won the NAACP. I bet you don't know this, Marco Lugo. Let me ask you this question. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't even be giving you attention, but do you know how Nelson Mandela, when he was released from prison, do you even know how he physically was? I think he was flown to America. Okay, let's Google that. Right? How did he get back? How did he leave? Do you even know? If anybody. I'm gonna give you like a second here because I'm gonna look over there to see if he answers the question. Where is he at?
Jennifer Hudson?
Oh yeah, Jennifer Hudson. See, that's right, Jennifer Hudson. Thank you.
Who was that?
Yeah.
That was,
No, but
that was
how did Nelson Mandela?
Thank you.
How did Nelson Mandela get back home? Or I think he was flown to the U.S. After he was released from prison. Okay, how did he get back? Let's see. He's too busy. He's too busy talking about Jesus and
Marco Lugo's
separation.
over there attacking faith now.
Yeah.
You know that this is what they do, fellas.
Right.
Hey, familia, this is what they do. Leftist brainwash. You know, they'll find something, and if they can't defend it, they'll attack something else. So please let it be on this trip.
So I'll give you guys the answer. Donald Trump sent the Trump plane out there to pick him up. Okay,
That's right.
That's Nelson Mandela, a black man, but no, he's racist.
Exactly. It was him. That was Donald Trump who sent out for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some of you who say, well, he's racist, right? Then you are racist. Yeah. If he was so racist, why did he? He had no need.
Is that Richie Cano? Good. Thank you, Richie Cano.
Yeah.
Voting for Republican for the first time, and I'm not looking back. You know the thing, Richie? Thank you. I'm good thing. But how many people do you know? Because that's normal, right? That's normal, is having people that were Democrats and realized the errors of their ways and didn't allow their pride and ego to actually let them open their mind to what the truth actually is, right? Because that's usually what it comes down to, is people's pride and ego do not allow them, because the Trump derangement syndrome is so strong in them, right? That it blinds them from truth and evil. It's like an infection, and they can't do it. They can't.
They can't listen to what you're saying,
Yeah,
bro.
they're so full of
they're
hate
so
and
full
anger.
of hate and anger.
Yeah.
Like right now, there's a couple people out there that are just standing firm and saying it, instead of pointing fingers and saying like, you know what? Hey guys, what you guys are saying is true. You know, instead of us being Latinos coming together and saying, hey, let's join together. Let's agree to disagree,
So
but
Richie,
let's just stand firm.
Yeah, so Richie's saying 5 people. So how many people do you know the opposite? How many people that do you know that were like Republican and they're like, oh yeah, no. I mean, the only exceptions are the layman's. The layman's out there that don't pay attention to the, they really pay attention. But how many people do you know that were Trump supporters, real Trump supporters, not the ones that, just voted for Trump and didn't really know why, but Trump supporters or were Republican and are like, oh yeah, no. I'm voting for Kamala now. Like, how many people are like, I don't know of anybody like that.
I don't.
But yet you hear like constant people, testimonies, people in your life around that have been woken up to the truth. It's really just in one direction, right? I mean, look at RFK. I mean, even at a high level, right? You have RFK is like, hey man, I'm joining the Trump train, right? Tulsi Gabbard, right? I'm joining the Trump train. Now we can't count like these rhino guys, like, all of a sudden now, Dick Cheney. Oh, Cheney, like that's a good thing. Like they're so proud that Cheney is now, and the daughter and Dick Cheney, and what's the daughter's name? Liz Cheney, right? These warmonger evil, that Bush, who started the Iraq war, the media hated them. They were the devil. Now they're so proud that they have their endorsement. No, thank you. I would have a problem, man. If Bush or Cheney were endorsing Trump, dude, that's a big red flag.
100%.
Yeah, Lizard Cheney. That's right.
Lizard Cheney. Yeah, that's right.
Right. That would be a big red flag.
100%.
Right? You would start tripping out. Like, what? Oh, wait a second. What's going on here? Maybe we shouldn't. You probably would think to yourself, we probably shouldn't vote for Trump if that happened.
That's right.
Right. But let's hit play, Alfred. Let's finish up this ridiculous conversation.
I'm adding it because I got removed it. There we go.
And you're thinking about sitting out?
You're thinking?
That guy's telling him something right there. The guy in the white hat.
But, because of Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses.
So wanting a job is an excuse. Yep. Not wanting war is an excuse.
I've got a problem with that.
He's got a problem with that.
Because part of it makes me think, I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
Yeah, you're just a male chauvinist. This is how cult leaders talk to cult. This is how they keep their cult members in line.
Right.
And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time.
Did he consider that it has nothing to do that she's not a woman? Like, he's not even considering that.
Working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you?
Yeah, fully funded
Because
historical
you think
black colleges,
that's
the First
a
Step
sign of
Act,
strength?
right? Historically,
Because
most
that's what
highest unemployment
being a man is?
among Black
Putting women
America
down?
during his presidency.
That's not acceptable.
That's not acceptable.
That's not. This shouldn't even be a question.
You know
Here
what it makes
are-
me think of, Alfred?
Yep.
This is what it was probably like when, back in slavery,
Mm-hmm.
and back in slavery when, the slaves were getting out of line, right?
Yep,
And
yep.
let's just say it got out that they were thinking about, hey guys, you know what, man, we're gonna organize and we're gonna just refuse to work, right? This is exactly what you would do. You would send out your
and this is the guy.
your freaking.
This is the highest ranked member. And he's part of you. He's part of your race. It's kind of like he's part of the black. He's part of the. He's with you in the plantation, right? And that could be the Latino too, right? It could be us right there in the plantation picking up whatever fruits we're picking up, right? And it's the top man, right? That supervisor, right? That he's up there. He's taking about. He's well taken care of by who? By the guy up there, right?
That's the house. N-word.
Exactly.
The house black guy they send out there, right? The guy that works inside in the comfy. We need you to go out there and get these guys in line, right? So that's what Barry Seotoro is right here, talking to these guys about, these guys are sitting there like, bro, it has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman. It has everything to do with the fact that for the last 4 years, we're paying more for everything. We have hyperinflation, right? We're paying more for gas. We're now in wars, in the verge of World War III. Do you consider that? No, this is like mind manipulation. This is what like men that beat their wives do, right? They tell them, no, it's not. It's not because I hit you, right? You're complaining because do I not do enough for you, right? Do I not give you a house and a car and I give you money? This is the same conversation he's having with them right now, right? You don't have to work, right? What are you complaining about, right? And the woman's out there like, no, bro, I just don't want to get beat. You know what I mean? I just don't want to get beat anymore. That's why I'm trying to leave, right? That's why I don't want to be with you anymore. He's like, no, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. It's not about me beating you. It's because you're ungrateful. You're an ungrateful woman, right? You don't appreciate the work that I do, and I buy you dresses, and I give you the food, and I give you this nice house and this nice car, right? This is exactly the conversation. This is exactly what's going on. It's mind manipulation, because these guys are sitting there like, bro, it has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman. He's like, yes, it is. It's because you're a male chauvinist, and it's because she's a woman.
Did you see that guy in the hat? The guy in the hat was like, so you want to give it to Putin?
Is that what he said? I didn't hear what
Yeah,
he said.
he said it right there. It says,
right.
Yeah, you want to give it to Putin, huh? And the
Yeah.
guy's just looking at him like, bro, like I didn't even say anything. You know what I mean? Like this, bro, they're losing the narrative, bro. It is so bad. You know what I mean? It's becoming so bad here with Barry. Come on, they brought the big guns. Remember now, guys. They tried to assassinate him, right? They tried lawfare. They couldn't take care of the lawfare, right? How many courts was he involved with? I mean, think about it. He was in like 4 different courts. They couldn't handle him. All of them he got absoluted from, including the one in New York. Right now, the one that remember the one in Florida, right?
Yeah.
With Cannon, Judge Cannon. Come on, think about
Right.
it. 3 assassinations, possibly 5 now, right? The one we heard about California, some of you, right? They can't stop the man. They're losing control of the narrative, right? They can't. What is the next thing that could happen, right? Not even hurricanes stopping this man, right? Because think about it. Hurricanes now, we're starting to see that there's a huge manipulation, right? DOD manipulating this, but that's going to be another topic for another time. All right? But look, we're starting to see they can't stop the man, bro. They cannot stop the man. And unfortunately, they brought Barry Seotoro, right? Now, next week, they're bringing Bill Clinton, right? Because guess what? They cannot hold this man back. He's doing thousands. He's doing rallies with 100,000 people showing up at his rallies, right? And there's no media supporting this man. Only
Yeah.
X.
Yeah.
He only got a couple of billionaires that are helping him, right?
Right.
And he's bringing in, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people to visit him. That's right. Rose Victoria says God has his hand all over him. Of course, we strongly, if you can't see this and you allow the words of Mark, Hugo, you know what I mean? If you allow his words to come in and just be hating, we might believe what he's saying, but I don't believe anymore, man. I strongly believe that the man is being covered by the hand of God, and we got to keep praying. We got to do our part as believers to go out and bring 20 people with us to vote. You know what I mean? Just like Isaac said, get in California, harvesting is legal, right? Go ahead and grab 5, 20, and just take it out and do it. It's legal.
Yeah, so this next clip here, now we have this professor, okay, talking about what was this? I forgot what we're doing here. This is the professor talking about the guys that vote for Trump, right, should be lined up and shot, I believe is what this guy's talking about. Go ahead and play the clip, make it big and loud.
All right, hold on. In and out, here we go. We're gonna go loud, and we're gonna go big, and then here we go. Here we go.
Guys are smarter than girls. You got some serious problems. That's what frustrates me. There are going to be some males in our society that will refuse to vote for a potential female president because they don't think females are smart enough to be president. We could line all those guys up and shoot.
This female is not smart enough to be president.
The way the world works. Did I say that? Scratch that from the recording. I don't want the deans hearing that I said that. Guys are smarter than girls. Yep. You got some serious problems.
So he did say that. So he said the part where he said
I missed it.
That will refuse to vote for a potential female president because they don't think females are smart enough to be president. We could line all those guys up and shoot them. They clearly don't understand
inciting violence.
The way the world works.
So do you think this guy's even going to lose his job over this? Probably not. Can you imagine if it was the other way? It's crazy, guys. These people are losing their mind. They've lost control of the plantation, and they're sending over these house N-words, right? These house N-words out to get all these guys in line. Right? Let's get them all. Let's get all these guys in line. Now it's like, hey, we got to line you guys up and shot you, just like they used to do the slaves when they ran away from the plantation. What would they do? Right? They'd take them back, drag them, hang them, kill them. Right? This is what they do. It's crazy, man. I can't. And the fact that this isn't all over the news, if this was a conservative professor, right, saying something about, hey, if people don't vote for Trump, we should line them up and kill them. Oh, it would be crazy. It'd be crazy.
100%.
Yeah, guys. So Trump. So I've talked on the podcast about how one of the big things, the highest priority, guys, is taking care of the enemy within, right? Mm-hmm. That is our biggest problem. The enemy within that we got to deal with, which is the corrupt propaganda media, right? And the deep state, right? These agencies, these politicians, these lawyers, these judges that need to be held accountable, right? And one of my concerns has been that Donald Trump, does not understand that. But in this interview, it's pretty clear that he does understand it. And let's just hope. Let's go ahead and play this video. He's on Fox News, right? And he's there, he's talking about the enemy within. So
how are you going to guard against the bureaucrats undermining you?
Well, they're going to undermine. Well, I always say, so we have two enemies. We have the outside enemy, and then we have the enemy from within. And the enemy from within, in my opinion, is more dangerous than China, Russia, and all these countries. Agreed. Because if you have a smart president, he can handle them pretty easily. I got along great with all. I handled them. But the thing that's tougher to handle are these lunatics that we have inside, like Adam Schiff. Think of this guy's going to be a senator. He's running against a guy that doesn't understand politics at all, Garvey, but he was a good baseball player, but he doesn't understand politics at all. Adam Shifty Schiff, who's a total sleazebag, is going to become a senator. But I call him the enemy from within. When you look at the danger he put our country in, potentially with Russia, with a phony made-up deal that he made up with Hillary and some bad people, that started off as an excuse for why she lost an election that a lot of people thought she should have won because the polls indicated she might win, and then she got beaten everywhere, virtually. When you look at that, and then they said, it was Russia. They used it as an excuse. And then the fake news picked it up. And while you're on this, let's talk about the single greatest scandal, in my opinion, in broadcast history. 60 Minutes and CBS interviewed Kamala, and she's incompetent. She gave them the dumbest answer anyone's ever heard. So they took that answer out, threw it, or the whole answer they threw out, and they took another answer that she gave to a totally different question and inserted it. And supposedly they did this a number of times, and they got caught. 60 Minutes, and CBS should lose their license for that.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click
Sorry,
here.
guys. So Matt, I'm glad. I think it was a great question, because that to me has been the one thing I need to make sure Donald Trump understands, and that is the real enemy and the biggest threat that we have. We have to deal with this corrupt media, and I'm all for freedom of speech, guys. We're all for, freedom of the press. But at what point is this no longer press? They're no longer the press when they're basically a propaganda machine, and they've been caught. They were caught editing that interview with Kamala's response because it was so terrible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's. I'm glad. I think it was a great answer. I'm glad that, to me, it's pretty clear. Let's hope, guys, that he wins. Wait, somebody, I saw somebody had commented, like, I guess they were saying that they don't. I guess just paraphrasing here, that they don't believe that the votes are real anymore. We have to vote, guys. Even if you're one of those people. And again, I don't totally disagree that it's going to be rigged. They're going to try something, but doing nothing doesn't help. Not voting is not the answer. That's for sure. Right.
That's right.
So we got to at least put our hat in the game. What is this? Gio Trujillo 52. Trump is being too kind. Adam Schiff is a lot worse than sleazebag. All Californians need to vote for Steve Garvey. I have not really looked into the down tickets yet. Like,
Yep.
all the other attorney generals and
Me neither, bro.
I haven't done that yet. But yes, we do have to get rid of Gaston. What's his face? Is that his name?
Adam Schiff.
No, the other guy too.
What is it? Which guy?
The attorney general.
Oh, Gascon. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, here in California, we got to get rid of that guy ASAP.
That's true. And these are the people. These are the people that are paid by Soros, right? There's a donation in there, and some people still don't believe that Soros, is paying for all these cronies everywhere. Well, he's buying radio stations everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Even the FTC, pretty much helped them out to get all these radio stations. And again, some people, people see us with the conspiracy, tinfoil hats, right? But how many of these conspiracies have come true now? I mean, I stopped counting them, bro. I literally stopped counting them because I just said, "Oh, look, another conspiracy that came true."
Yeah, and speaking of voting, CNN here, the article we have up, bringing up right now is Trump allied George election board wants 2020 election deniers to monitor Atlanta area voting. What's the problem with that? Why does that concern them, right? So let's scroll down a little bit onto the article. But the gist of this article is that CNN is not happy because the Fulton County, I guess, they're gonna allow for the election officials allow for some of the people that questioned I think some of the people from Cyber Ninjas to be election monitors, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem with that? Why would you not want somebody who, is very skeptical of elections and potential fraud to monitor elections? I mean, I don't understand. If you have nothing to hide, then what's the concern?
That's true.
Right?
I mean, even that. I mean, you saw this in the news a couple of days ago, where what's his name, Stephen Warnock, right?
Yeah.
He's suing the state of Georgia, bro, because they're allowing to hand count each ballot.
Yeah.
What is that? So think about it, guys. Think about this for a second. Many moons ago or many years ago, this was a normal process in Georgia.
Yeah.
Everybody hand counted the ballots. Now he's suing the electoral board for allowing to do that. Why? Why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
Why would you want to block hand count, the ballots? He's saying that it doesn't make a difference. He's saying this is his logic. See, they have no common sense. His logic is that it's not going to make a difference. It's actually going to hinder the process, right? To do a hand count, for hand counting our ballots. It's gonna hinder the process, which is a lie. This is what they used to do before they got the machines. So anyhow, he's suing the state board, the election state board for hand counting of ballots. The only reason why you wouldn't want anybody to hand count the ballots is for what? It's to cheat.
Yeah, to cheat. Yeah. So the article says Donald Trump allied Georgia State Election Board is pushing to install people who deny the results of the 2020 presidential election as part of monitoring team in Fulton County, the biggest Democratic-leaning county in the state, and one that was consequential for Joe Biden's victory 4 years ago, right? And they claim to say they have no legal authority to install its own recommended monitors, but that did not stop the GOP majority from voting on Tuesday to repeat its efforts to include its own suggested monitoring teams in Fulton County. The move, coming less than 30 days before Election Day, is the latest example of what critics say is the board acting in a way that may create chaos next month. Why would it create chaos if there's not a problem?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
What chaos are they concerned is going to happen? That they're going to say, hey, hold on a second. We have a question about this, or we saw something wrong. If as long as it can be justified and explained, there's no problem.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, if they say, hey guys, we witnessed fake ballots, well, prove that they're not fake. I mean, if they're saying, hey, look, these are fake, and it turns out they're wrong, what's the problem? But what if they're right? Right? What if they're right? Scroll down a little bit on the article. They go on to say that the state election board has no authority to force Fulton County to accept and Fulton County to pay for election monitors handpicked by the state of election board. The lawsuit states, which I wonder if they even have to pay that. I thought that was a volunteer. I could be wrong. Fulton County has already agreed to monitoring team proposal that would include Ryan Germany, a former staff attorney of Georgia Secretary of State during the 2020 election, as well as the members of the Carter Center, which are all left-wing groups, right? Former President Jimmy Carter's nonprofit organization, which has internationally acclaimed for its election monitoring. Yeah, so Jimmy Carter's nonprofit organization, they're good. Yeah. We're good with those guys, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Jimmy Carter guy, a Democrat, but the GOP members of the state election board told CNN neither Germany nor the Carter Center should be allowed to be a monitor because of bias.
Of course.
Obviously, who would argue that? I mean, what? I mean, what's the response to that? Why is CNN not? Why is this article not about the fact that that Fulton County has the Jimmy Carter nonprofit organization as the election monitors?
100%.
That's what the article should be about, right? The Carter Center has world-renowned reputation of election observation, John said, but that's in the past. Currently, when I meet people that they hire to be their volunteers through the Carter Center, I often find people that come from partisan organizations such as the ACLU and Common Cause. I mean, could this be the people that were boarding up the walls, the walls and close and locking reporters from going inside the polls?
That's right.
Could it be the same people?
That's
right? Scroll down. If we remember, guys, that's it said Johnson and her peers are recommending Heather Honey, which I don't know who that is, who previously worked with Cyber. Oh yeah, she worked for Cyber Ninjas, which faced months of criticism over the questionable audit practices, and Cole Frank Ryan, who refused to certify election results in the past, both fundamentally distrust the results of the 2020 election. Again, what is the problem with that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, what are you afraid of that they're going to do?
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense.
But this is what they do, bro.
Yeah.
This is what they do. Lawfare, right? They bring in lawfare. They bring in they fly through processes, right? They create a mob where they can bring their own people. These are the Jimmy Carter organization, right? You know what I mean? Like guys, lefty, Democrat, does that ring a bell? And this is a what? Mostly Republican state? Does that ring a bell, anybody? Of course not, but this is okay for them. This is perfectly fine and normal for them. Like another, again, don't let me put my conspiracy hat, my tinfoil hat again, because it's willing out to be the same thing they did in 2020.
Yeah. Yeah, so is it Valerie Gayelli?
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Carter was the worst president, beating. I can't read it from this one.
Oh, it says Jimmy Carter was the worst president, beaten by being demented Joe. That's true.
Oh yeah, he was beaten by demented Joe.
No, he was.
Yeah, good guys. I don't think you have this article, Alfred, but this other Daily Caller. All right, the Daily Caller. If migrants are overwhelming school districts in key swing states, saddling taxpayers with hefty price tags. Right. A massive influx of non-English speaking students in Pennsylvania is overwhelming school districts across the state, and the logical strain on administrators could be leaving other students behind. Well, what do you think is going to happen, right? When you have all these students that don't speak English, right? So the number of students, so this is what the article is: the number of English language learners, right, meaning they have to learn English in school districts in Pennsylvania, has surged nearly 40% since 2021. That's 40%, guys. You don't think that's going to have a pretty significant impact? Oh, you do have it up there.
Yep.
They're going to a significant impact on the education of your children, right? So it's forcing public schools to shell out more cash, obviously, to try and meet the needs of the students, according to documents obtained via records, requests of open source information reviewed by the Daily Caller. The surge of many schools began in 2021 through 2022 academic school year, coinciding with the onset of Biden-Harris administration, the subsequent border crisis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a coincidence that this is all during the time that they took over the border, and all of a sudden now it starts. What do you think is going to happen, guys? So what happens next in these states, right? Which is probably us here in California. How many times do we have to hear? I mean, look at your ballot. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some proposition on there asking for more money, right? More money for school education.
That's right.
I'm sure it's going to be in there. It's probably the first time. You don't think they probably have something like that in Pennsylvania where this is taking place?
Of course.
Right? So the problem, it says, is twofold. John Kohler, who serves in Penn Ridge School Board from 2015 to 2022, said that the DCNF, you have obviously the financial issue with also the issue of where to get the personnel in order to provide these services, and the students that we have influx, they're coming into our school district. So, hey guys, if you're a Spanish teacher, you move to Pennsylvania because they're going to need you, apparently.
That's right.
Right? I mean, if you want a kid, I guess it wouldn't be any better, right? I mean,
going from a blue to blue.
Go to a blue to blue.
California to Pennsylvania. No big change, everyone. You're still not going to get a hike.
I take it back.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, don't go there. That wouldn't make any sense.
But that's happening everywhere, brother. It's happening everywhere. Not only in Texas, it's happening in all the red states, Alabama, right? We're seeing this in Utah, an influx of people. This is what this current administration has done. You know what I mean? They've opened the gates of what? Of the border and influx all these cities and causing all these financial issue into cities, because not only do they need schooling, they need homes, right? They need medical supplies. They need medical, right? They in California here, we're giving money away, EBTs, right? Everything that the immigrants receive, it's all been paid by taxpayer funded here in California, and it's unfortunate because Isaac and I can't say no. It's been removed out of our paycheck automatically. They don't care.
Yep.
They don't care.
Yeah, so like it says across the state there was a total of 71,766 right English learning students, those requiring specialized education and learning English as a second language during the 2020-2021 school year, according to the data published by the Pennsylvania Department of Education, guys. That's who these numbers are coming from. This number jumped up to 99,889 in the 2023-2024 school year, marking the 40% rise in just 3 years, man. Can you guys imagine?
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. And this is just one state, guys. This is just one state. So I'm sure this is going to happen in California. I'm sure this is the case in Chicago, right? Probably New York. You know, so what happens to our kids, right? I mean, I thank God my kids are out of school. Thank God my kids are I mean, I got 2 college students. You know, one's about to graduate, the other one's in his sophomore year. But thank God, guys, if you're a young parent, I feel so bad for you, man. You know, it's to top it all off with the high inflation and high gas prices. Now you better be able to afford to send your kid to private school. You know,
That's true, man. It says HVAC specialist says _1. It says we have been turning the other cheek for too long. That's right.
Yep.
We have been turning the cheek for too long, right?
Yep. I agree.
100%. Then we have who else? Oh, this one too.
Was this HVAC specialist? Ooh, what happened?
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Liberals are stuffing us with their bogus laws. Our country is being taken over, and the steal of election. How long do we still keep turning the other? Oh, I can't read that.
The other cheek. We still keep on turning the other cheek.
Oh, it says turning through other cheek. I don't know. That was weird. Sorry about that. Was this E good? If you're a Christ follower, you know the answer to that.
Of course. Yeah, listen. And that's why we're having these discussions here, because listen, all we can do, man, is have these discussions. At the end of the day, man, everybody that knows the Bible, you already know that it's been written. Things are going to happen, right? At the end of times, the spirit of the age is going to come and confuse those that are coming out. I mean, even those that are believers, right? And I think we need to stand firm on the word of God and stay prayed up, right?
Well,
and you know, it's important, right?
Well, I don't know if Egood was responding to the turning the other cheek comment.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's the case. I don't know what's being implied there, but we're also supposed to be the hands, the feet, and the mouthpiece, right? We're supposed to be the salt of the earth. So if you're implying that, you know, we just kind of stand by and watch evil take place, I don't agree with that. I don't think that's what the Bible's actually teaching. I think we are supposed to hate sin, right? We're supposed to hate sin because God hates sin, right? So we are supposed to speak out against evil and unrighteousness, and we are supposed to judge and judge righteously, right? As the Bible says, right? So, you know, this whole narrative, you know, this whole false representation of the Bible saying that we're not supposed to judge. Well, you got to finish the verse, because it does say you are to judge and to judge righteously. So yeah, we can't just stand by and allow the enemy to, the enemy mean, you know, not in the sense of the devil, right? The evil to just take this. This is where this is how we ended up where we're at right now, right?
That's right.
We're at this point now where, yeah, that's right. Table flippers. Who's that? Pensy Lane. That's right. we got to flip some tables.
That's right.
You know, but you know, we got to be wise, and we got to be, we have to be have wisdom and discernment, right? We're not going to go out there and start beating up people or anything like that, but we do have to get out there and vote. You know, we are supposed to defend. You know, like I think we watched that Beverly and Beatty. I wonder whatever happened with Beverly and Beatty. We got to get an update on her situation.
We'll look up
right?
for see. Yep.
But that's one of the things that I really like about Beverly and Beatty. If you guys know who Beverly and Beatty is, right? She was the she's out there. She has a ministry. I forgot the name of the ministry, but she was a big time in the pro-life movement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she goes out there and stands up in these abortion clinics. And some people don't appreciate her style, but you know, one of the things that she said one time that really makes me think about the people that criticize her, because she gets very vocal, very aggressive with the people that are going in there and working that work at these clinics. You know, she calls them murderers, right? You know,
Which she's not lying. But she's not lying. She's not lying. So see,
Right.
that's one of the things. It's like that's one of the things that sometimes I do understand that some people, you know, they just don't like the method, right? But everything she's doing it in a sense where, hey, it's not, it's the truth.
Yeah.
They are murderers, right? But she's outspoken about it.
Yeah, who's this HVAC specialist? When Jesus wants us to fight for the best, even of oh man, I think I think it's supposed to be, it means sacrifice our lives for the best.
Yep.
Well, no, so Beverly and Beatty, you know, one of the things she said, because guys, as a pro-life person, right, we believe that it's murder and that a child is being murdered. And one of the things she said was, I heard her talk about was, you know, the only difference between the baby in the womb and the baby outside the womb is location, right?
Right.
So, you know, she says, you know, how if somebody had a baby in their hand and you were walking and you saw them going to murder, right? Had a knife or a gun, however, they had a weapon and they're clear to you that they're about to kill that baby, how would you respond to that? How would you react? You know, would you tell them, "Oh, please don't do that"? Or would you not say anything?
I mean, just let me put this in perspective, right?
Right.
So many, you know, in the Bible it talks about that Jesus went into the temple, right? And he saw people selling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was tables in there, right? People were selling the merchandises, right? They were doing things. They were making the house of the Lord a mockery, right? And what did he do? Did he go up to them and said, what you guys are doing is bad? Did he go, that's A, right? B, did he go and started screaming at them and saying, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong? Or C, did he went ahead with the whip and whipped the heck out of them out of the house of the Lord? Which one was it?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. It's you know, guys, I'm not going back to that example. It's kind of like how, you know, if we want to be consistent, and I just saw Rose Victoria's, she's on Rumble. Yeah, I know, but I guess, you know, she was charged with some,
Yes.
yeah,
she was in court. She's, you know, she needed to I think she
it was for she was being charged with some bogus law in New York.
Exactly.
For
of course.
something like blocking somebody from getting care.
Exactly. I mean, murdering somebody. You know, this was killing somebody, but they're calling it care.
Right. Yeah. So, but it turns out the whole thing is just bogus. Obviously, they're just out to get her.
Of course.
But yeah, guys, it's something that I think about a lot as a believer is, you know, when we see people that have these ministries in front of these abortion centers and you're out there holding signs, it's kind of like when you think about, well, we believe it's murder and that's a baby. What is the appropriate way to approach that? Right. And arguments can be made. You know, the general consensus amongst believers is that, you know, we want to be loving, we want to approach this in a loving way. But then I think to myself, would you approach it that way if they were holding the baby in their hand, right, with a knife, or you knew they were about to go throw the baby over a bridge to its death? Would you be approaching it the same way? Right? That's a hard one.
So let me put you in perspective. Let me put you guys in another perspective.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, Bon Jovi, right? Bon Jovi, you guys know who Bon Jovi is, right?
Yeah.
He's a singer, right? He's very famous, right? He actually came into a bridge, right? Where he realized that there was a lady about to throw herself off the bridge.
Yeah.
You know? Now, because of his character, right? His mind or whatever, his heart, right? The human thing to do was what? To rescue the woman.
Right.
Talk to her. Have conversation, have a sense of conversation, common sense, right? Some of us are talking about this a lot. You're hearing this a lot. Common sense, right? Well, he had a common sense moment with the woman where he saved her from jumping, to the bridge, or jumping out of the bridge and literally to kill herself, right? So the question is this: until when are we supposed to righteously defend the unborn? You know what I mean? Like Jesus said himself, woe to those that do these things, harms to what? To these little ones, right? The children. You know what I mean? And we have this being allowed, in the sense of the ideology that they're not, they're not even alive.
Yeah.
They're a clunk, even though there's a heartbeat, they're a clunk. They're not out of the womb yet. You know what I mean? Which is a lie of the enemy, man.
Yeah.
The Bible tells us in Psalms that he created them. He created all of us, from the woman, from the womb of our, the woman's stomach. So did God lie? No. It means that we need to stand firm. You know what I mean? And don't courage up. And look, that's what Sister Beatty does. She's courageous. She goes out there and lays out her life and says, it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what I like about her is I think that conservatives, I think we need to be more along the like her, I would say, for lack of a better term. We need to be would the right word be aggressive? We have to be more aggressive. We have to be more passionate. Like Igor said, yeah, stand firm. We need to stand firm. We can't just stand by and be quiet because, it's not, like you go somewhere and they're like, we don't talk politics and religion, right? That's the most important topics you can talk about.
In church, they don't want you to talk about politics, even though politics started in church. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. The founding fathers here were praying over the Constitution on what to do. They were praying on their knees, right? See, when you hear that, bro, I don't like it when I hear this. Oh, there's got to be a separation between church and state. Of course, there's absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, when there's a separation between church and state, what happens? There's no accountability. And this is exactly what we're living right now, because the church has forgotten its place, in our culture, in these communities, right? And now look at what happened. We're allowing evil, right? Because the church is not being there. Because the more the church is there, proclaiming the gospel, speaking the good news, people, saving people, healing people, guess what? We're accomplishing things in our own communities. But what happens? We're allowing evil to come into our communities, now into our schools, now into our place of work, and allowing these depraved conversations to happen. What's going on now? We allow the enemy to take control. Now that's why we're having corporations, doing rainbow parades everywhere. It's normalizing. They're even paying for people to do abortions. When we, the church, allow this to happen in our places, in our communities, guess what happens? Evil just overwhelms. You know what I mean? And corruption and just the decaying of sin just comes in and takes over.
Yep, 100%, man. So yeah, guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for commenting on the chats. Always fun. Don't know what happened with that one guy, but it looks like he's gone now.
I think he left. He couldn't handle it. I think there was a lady there. A huge shout out to Gina Lugo. A huge dude. Gina Lugo was on it, man. A huge shout out. She was on them, bro. It was like,
I couldn't keep up.
Great. It was crazy. It was great. So Gina Lugo, thank you so much hey, this is what we do in love, right? We just tell those people that are out there and they're just looking for, at the end of the day, there's people out there that want to be heard, right? And this is the perfect spot for us just to come together, join together, right? And this is the spot where you can come in and have a cool discussion. As long as, again, you are respectful, right? You respect people's opinions and you move on. But when you just start focusing on just bump, you're just doing it on, just doing it unconsciously, without thinking, just to create attention, the wrong type of attention. That's when we just, you just let it go. You know what I mean? You're just like, see ya, we move on, right? And that's what we do, man, here at the Unrestrained Podcast, man. So any last words, bro?
Nah, man, that's about it. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to go to our YouTube page or YouTube channel, Unrestrained Podcast. Go in there, like, subscribe.
Help us out, hey. Help us out.
Yep. But help us out, man. We're trying to grow this channel. And yeah, we'll see you guys next Monday.
Yes, sir.
7:30. We were a little late. We're supposed to start at 7, guys. But I got a job just like everyone else. I got here late. I got out a little late from work, so I kind of rushed over here. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully our sound was better.
We'll find out.
We'll find out afterwards.
I couldn't see it.
We didn't see anybody say it wasn't, so it sounds to me like it was good to go.
Good to go.
But yeah, guys, we appreciate you guys spending time with us. It's a lot of fun.
All right, man.